Wayne, you use Moneysoft in your business. Can we start with introducing yourself to everybody?
Yeah, Wayne Leggett's my name. Of course, you and I have known each other for a while, quite a while, more years than either of us will admit to, particularly in my case. You were a baby when I met you. Yes. My business, Paramount Wealth Management, or Paramount Financial Solutions, as is the trading name, is a general practice business. We have clients who basically our mantra is, if it's got a dollar sign on it, we can help you with it. So it's not so much your, if I can call it, the traditional advice business where it's either about investments and super and risk, although, as you know, we do a lot of that. But I worked out quite a while ago that the thing that people seem to value the most was the stuff we weren't actually focusing on, and more importantly, at that stage, weren't getting paid for. So we started doing a lot of work in the budgeting and cash flow space. Gosh, it must be nearly 2 decades ago. And it was proving very popular initially. But where it fell down was it was all manual. And clients started with all the best enthusiasm in the world and kept all of their records and their spreadsheets and were copying off their receipts and so on. But then the enthusiasm for doing that wanes after a while, and therefore it didn't last. So needless to say, when Moneysoft came across my bows, which I guess was about 5 years ago, it was actually introduced by our licensee, I went, hallelujah, this solves that one problem that seemed to exist in the past. And sure enough, what it does now is literally it takes all the client information, anything that is online with an account number that can be logged into, gets transferred into Moneysoft. So from the client's point of view, it's tracking everything without them having to do too much other than setting it up. But the real value from an advisor's perspective is that we're looking from the other side back at the exact same information that the client is. So in terms of our ability to help them, it's perfect.
Magic. Yeah. Have you managed to do any assessment of how much time this is saving you and your staff?
I haven't physically calculated it, but it's got to be hours per client. So in terms of what it would ultimately cost the clients or would eat into our profit margin, it's significant. The case in point is, and you'd be aware of this as a business coach, how much time an advisor spends at review asking clients for information that is needed to bring them up to date. The beauty of Moneysoft is that conversation doesn't occur.
So I'm imagining that your conversations are richer. They're more about, goals and what clients are wanting to achieve. Yeah,
exactly. You get to talk about the stuff they want to talk about instead of spending time asking them about hard facts that they could have given you before the meeting, obviously. But if you don't even have to get it off them and it's being fed to you automatically, how good's that?
Fantastic. And can I ask, do you use it with your new clients? So rather than sitting with a fact find and filling everything in, does it come to play there?
It's contributed to a complete change in how we go about things, because one of the biggest problems that advisors have in onboarding a new client is how much time you spend at your expense to get to a point of being able to prepare an advice document to then get paid. So what we're actually doing is putting a lot of time and effort and energy into the client, from which they benefit, but the traditional model didn't allow you to get paid for doing that. Well, we've changed that. Clients sign an ongoing service agreement from the get-go when they decide to engage. So the letter of engagement says your fee starting from now is X dollars per month, and they go, yep, okay. And then we say, and when we have prepared the statement of advice, this is what it will cost for the design and implementation of that. And they go, cool. Right. So they're actually paying you to get to the point of preparing the SOA.
Yeah, fantastic.
And of course, Moneysoft contributes to that, because as soon as they sign the letter of engagement, you can subscribe them to Moneysoft, and here comes all the information that you would have had to put into a fact find to then prepare an SOA.
Excellent. Excellent. So I'm seeing that clearly, from an efficiency perspective, ticks all the boxes, and from the client experience perspective, ticks lots of boxes too, because they really don't want to be sitting in front of you telling you information that in this day and age they would expect that you could get electronically, right?
Yeah, I mean, one of the best things about this is we have to collect so much information from the clients, but Moneysoft means that a lot of that information is fed to us automatically, and we don't have to then go through the process of asking the client for it. It's brilliant.
Fantastic. So I guess it's a bit of a dumb question, but would you recommend Moneysoft to other advisors?
Oh, without any shadow of doubt. For two reasons. One is that it makes the clients more engaged because they know that you've got line of sight to their financial situation. But the greater benefit is of how much easier it makes the advisor's job. If you're working in this advice on cash flow space, it just makes it so much easier than trying to get the information manually and keep track of what the client's doing with it.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thanks very much, Wayne.
You're welcome. Good to talk. Cheers, Sue.
You've just heard from a really happy client of one of our Evolve Alliance provider members. If you'd like access to some great tools, services, ideas and resources to help you improve your advice business, go to evolvealliance.com.au and join the Alliance.